In light of Elon Musk having taken a major stake in Twitter, and in light of Peter Thiel's very interesting talk at the Bitcoin conference in Miami, which I know you haven't seen yet, but well worth listening to what he has to say. It's an extremely challenging, interesting talk. I didn't follow 100% of it, but I got most of it. He basically levels an accusation at what he calls the gerontocracy. Basically, he claims that very powerful boomer, or older even, maybe, financial forces are suppressing the natural growth of Bitcoin. Anyway, it's a very interesting talk. He makes an argument for the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. He's not a full believer in Ethereum, it's clear, but nonetheless, he lays out a framework in which they're actually playing different roles. He said one thing I quite disagree with, which is that to say that you're pro-blockchain is an anti-Bitcoin stance. I don't think that's true. But nonetheless, it's a challenging, interesting talk in which he very forcefully comes out in favor of Bitcoin, says that it predicted inflation that the markets didn't catch. Those are very interesting things. And Mark Andreessen, who is another major force, a tech guy who was the prime mover behind Netscape Mozilla, right, in the early days of the web, he has started calling out what he calls the current thing, right? So he's now just started replacing, COVID, Ukraine, whatever, with the generic, the current thing. And his point is, you're not allowed to reason about the current thing. You're allowed to reason about the last thing. And anyway, by calling it this, he reveals the absurdity of this sort of flocking behavior that people have to these positions that they don't understand. Anyway, I would argue that all three of these are suggestive of Gen X rising, that there is a level at which, and Eric has been big on pointing out how, the age of people who win Nobel Prizes has gone up and up and up. Just the degree of power that has concentrated in these elderly folks. We can see it in the last presidential election, the two oldest people to have run, that the gerontocracy is now increasingly facing a group of very powerful Gen Xers who I think are fed up, who have had it and do not like the woke nonsense, and are potentially, let us hope, going to break the stranglehold on power and narrative that they have held, hopefully in favor of something better, more nuanced, and more careful. But I just wanted to call people's attention to the fact that you sort of had three blips of these people who have become very wealthy and powerful, who seem to be fed up and are simultaneously on the move in the same week, right? That feels to me like something is up.
Well, let's keep our eye on it.
Yeah, indeed.